Hello and welcome back, my dudes. It's a pleasure to see you again, and we're back at my local gym, as you can see, and it's time to check out the new set. So let's see where this session takes me. See you in there. As usual, starting off easy, just going for the controlled technical work to get the body used to the climbing movements. It's just really nice for warming up properly after having a normal warm-up to really get back into the movements, and it's just having these first wins already in the book for the day that just feels nice to start a session with. It helps me a lot for my climbing to really go for that controlled footwork and think about the best positioning and best type of movement in these situations. Especially when you go into the higher grades, it's really important to be able to properly read them and know which type of move you need to do to make it less straining on your body, just so you're able to do the moves multiple times if you need to. Which is something I still struggle with a lot, because sometimes I'm still bad at reading tougher boulders. This 3 was a lot of fun as well. It's just some really nice side pulls on these big blocks, and it just has a really nice feeling to it. That one was quite nice, to be honest. And then went on to this green 4, which is a lot of fun as well. It has this big undercling start and then this nice press up, and from there you have some nice footwork. So it has a little bit of everything, really leaning into that side pull, switching the feet. It's a really nice and not too bad boulder. It's probably really nice for beginners. I then went on to this blue 5, which is quite nice as well. Wasn't too sure about the beta at the top at first, but it is a quite nice pinch on the volume you go to after going up the feet, and the starting beta isn't too bad as well. So quite fun 5 in that case. Then, just to check it off the list, I did this turquoise 4, which has one really nice move, and it is the one going up from there. I really like these big shoulder moves, and then having a nice balance on the volume, so nice 4. Next up, the red 6, first 6 of the day, and I need to say I don't really like these holds. I never really find a nice edge on them to really hold on and lean into. They always feel kind of bad, and I didn't really like the body position I needed to get in, and really didn't want to let go on the left hand. So in that try, I at one point just kind of lost my balance and slipped off. But in the next try, I really tried to focus to stay in the wall. I still don't really like the intended beta of fully leaning to the right, because I can't really hold on to. So I decided to put a really high left foot, found a good edge, and was able to get to the next hold and just shift my weight over, get into a press with the right hand, and then you're just slowly trying to get your weight over so you can get the left foot on the volume and really lean into that last hold. Now we get to my absolute nemesis of the day. This green 6 just kicked my ass. The starting sequence already is so rough, because these volumes you're standing on, they're tiny, they're not standing out a lot, and you really need that pressure in to stay stable, which is so hard. The left sloper is pretty bad as well. So I was struggling a lot just to get the tension needed to stay on for that starting sequence. And I tried it a lot and I just kept falling the whole time. I don't know how many tries I did for this boulder, even after filming, because I know I didn't film all of them, and it's just I kept falling. I tried everything, but at some point I started to find the right places to hold on to get the proper pressure, and was able to properly try the next move, which isn't better. You have this stand up catch and toe hook you need to throw at the same time, and it's rough, but I started to get through that first sequence way more consistently, but then just got stuck at the next move. So that toe hook catch is so rough. As I said, the volumes aren't good where you're standing on, so there's a beta to jump up as well. I tried it a few times, but I just couldn't get enough pressure to properly jump up, and I already started straining my hands a lot from these slopers, so I just went back to the normal beta. But it was hard. You really need to hit everything perfectly, and I just couldn't do it for a long time, so I just kept on trying. This boulder really showed me the amount of micro changes you need to do sometimes, because with every try I felt like I was learning, I was getting closer. I really realized how I needed to do it. I just needed to hit it perfectly. So I just did it over and over again, trying these little tiny variations on how to hold on to it, really trying to hit everything perfectly, and I was consistently getting closer, at least from how it felt, even though I kept failing over and over and over again. I would either hit the hands or the toe hook. One thing would maybe loosen because I didn't hit it perfectly, and it got so frustrating to do it over and over and over again. I was really trying every possible way, and I was getting close, and the frustrating was at a full high, but then there came the try, and I went perfectly through the starting beta and just hit it. The trick was holding on with the left hand longer than I thought, but from there the rest isn't too bad. I was so focused on not falling, I was really in there. You get the really high left heel hook and then that hand, and I just switched the left foot, I put it in properly, and then it was done. And because that 6 still wasn't hard enough for me apparently, I went on for this turquoise 7, which is a really nice boulder, but it's rough. I didn't really figure out the start well at first, which maybe was the reason why this boulder just slapped me like hell, because I just used way too much power already just trying to figure out the starting sequence again. But it was kind of nice with this hard undercling into the wall. You get the other hole, which is a rough shoulder move, and that high left foot is pretty hard as well. I still did it completely wrong from there, but this is pretty much how you need to do the first few moves. Not like this. I still wasn't sure exactly how to do it, but it was really hard getting the foot high from there, so I went left hand first, then left foot up, then you need to get the right hand in. Best case from the top, but you can go at another undercling as well, then switch it, and then you go up left hand. But I was slowly getting there. Hard start, but it's kind of fun.
and I'm enjoying the good battles today.
So with the right sequence, I was getting further into the boulder. It's still a hard, physically hard move, but it's definitely manageable. From there, the next few moves aren't too bad, but then you need to go back to the right. It's pretty hard to hold yourself in. I really need to get the pressure and fell on this try. So with the starting sequence, knowing what to do, I was consistently getting forward, even though it's still physically hard. But by the point I got to that part in the boulder again, I was just pumped already and couldn't hold on to the next move. I had the start pretty down at that point, even though it's still hard, but I knew what to do. I got through that part pretty quickly, but then going to the right, I just lost my footing and couldn't hold on. But by that point, I was just already so pumped and strained that I couldn't really move on that boulder on that day.
Still didn't lose my power for that, so I think I'll try something else.
I then went on to do this Black 7, which is a lot of fun as well. You have a dynamic start to get to the next hold, but it's a really nice jump. It's not too bad, and it's the one type of dynamic move that I actually like doing. The starting holds aren't too bad. You really need to control that swing. It took me a few tries, but I got it fairly quickly. It's really nice. Then you get into a really buddy positiony part. You have some really bad slopers you need to go to, and it's all about having the right order and the right tilt of your body to actually use the holds properly. That's why I needed to really lean and turn there just to make the best use, which I did wrong on these, so that's why I slipped out. But I actually got it on the next try, so I really enjoyed that one, and one of the nice wins of the day. At the end here, I stayed lower this time to make best use of the slopey holds and do the last move more controlled, getting the right foot out and then getting into the press of the last hold, where you really need to get it into your shoulder to press yourself into the wall. I then went on to this red 6, where I thought I still had enough power left, but it's kind of fun. It's harder than you expect at first. When you get to that pinch, it's kind of rough to stay stable in the overhang, because the left foot is quite bad. It's just a tiny puck on the wall, and the pinch isn't as nice as it seems. So it took me a few tries to properly figure out how to move on there from a stable position instead of trying to throw myself up there. So in this try, I try to get some stability from the right foot, at first toe hooking and then putting in the heel, which I immediately felt was helping a lot. I slipped out there because I didn't put it in properly, but on this try I put it in right after the pinch, and it really helped me get the right hand up, and that definitely felt like the proper beta. You then get to the undercling, which feels really nice, and then you get to these fuckers. They looked like nice little jugs. They're completely slopey and flat. They're so bad, and that at the end is just adding insult to injury, because I could barely hold on and then just slipped off. And on the next try, I really got used to the starting sequence. really felt nice with that right heel hook, so breezed through there. But overall, already I was so pumped and so out of power from the past boulders before that. And these last holes, I just couldn't figure out how to nicely do that last move without failing to hold on. And on my last try, I just felt the pump creep in like crazy. So by the point when I got to the tiny slopers, I was so pumped that I couldn't even hold on anymore. So I just slipped off. Then went on to try this black 5, and I thought it's gonna be a nice easy one for the end, and I just realized it's easier but still slopey as hell, and I could barely hold on to some of these holes, and I had a really bad baiter for the first try, and at some point I was just so pumped that I couldn't hold myself anymore. I was just fighting to stay on the wall. So on the next try, I just tried to do everything as quickly as possible and move on with that 5. I just wanted one more win for the books at the end of the day. So I just forced myself through doing the moves as quickly as I could, not powering myself out too much on a single move, and luckily managed to do that one. So at least one win at the end.